Dame Lillard, the second highest total in the bubble, goes for 51. That is his fifth 50-point game of the season, his 10th of his career. Amazing performance by Dame and Carmelo Anthony, who gave you 20 as well. It's a hell of an effort right there by the Philadelphia 76ers, joined right now by two outstanding gentlemen who know just a little bit about basketball. Coach Mack, Coach Mitchell. Coach Mitchell, looking at the ending, how Dame performed mainly in that fourth quarter, how impressed were you with his performance?
Well, it was expected. After last night, missing those free throws that could have sealed the win, you know Damian Lillard, Kevin McHale said it before the show, Damian Lillard was going to come out with a point to prove, and he refused to let this Portland team lose this game. Philadelphia, give them credit. They fought to the end. They had a chance to win this game, but at the end, Damian Lillard hung 51 on the Philadelphia 76ers. So to all those people that think they won't miss Ben Simmons' perimeter defense, look again at Damian, 51 points.
Awesome performance indeed. So the next game we have the Nets, we have the Clippers, the team that beat Portland yesterday. We know the Clippers are still trying to get that chemistry in order. Coach McHale, what do you look to see as a key to this game as they take on Brooklyn?
Well, first of all, I just want to say that Pat Beverly and Paul George fired up Damian Lillard. And right now, Philadelphia needs to be calling those guys up and saying, quit talking trash to that dude after the game. Yeah, you know, you look at this game coming up right now. I'm just a big Clippers fan. I just think they play the game the right way. They got to get all their pieces healthy. But I really.
Damian Lillard comes up short on the first attempt. This one for the tie. 22 points. His first free throws of the day. Missed them both.
Typically, at the end of the game, I always feel like I'm up big and just experiencing so many of those moments. I guess sometimes you come up short. And that was that. I left two free throws short. It ended up hurting us. We lost the game that we really needed to win. And we got another one tomorrow. There's really nothing I can do about it now.
Dame Lillard in the post game talking about the two free throws that he missed, the only two he missed in the 5-point loss. Dame shot 2 for 10 from three-point land. Did knock down that clutch three when he's usually big game Dame. Another opportunity to step his game up for the Portland Trailblazers. Then Joel Embiid, how will he do playing without his running mate? You know exactly what's going on with Ben Simmons. In fact, we don't know what's going on with Ben Simmons because what we're going to do now is bring in from Orlando, Stephanie Reddy, who has the latest update. We're going to start. What's the latest with Ben Simmons? We know he exited. He's going to have surgery, but what can you tell us about Simmons?
Yes, well, actually, he just left this morning. I know people were reporting yesterday that he was already gone. He left this morning, and he did have a chance to have a catch-up, if you will, with Elton Brand, the general manager for the Sixers, and also Brett Brown, head coach of the 76ers. So there is no timeline for his return, obviously, because the surgery is still to come in the coming days. So we're not sure exactly how long he'll be out. No one is expecting it to be anytime soon, though, Ro.
Philadelphia 76ers have won 3 straight so far. So let's move on to something a little less serious. So when you're riding in your car, when the sun is out, you pull down the visor, and that provides the shade. So there was a lot of shade going on in the Clippers-Portland Trailblazers matchup yesterday. Go ahead and shed some light on that whole situation.
Yes, well, as you mentioned, Damian Lillard missed 2 free throws at the end, less than 20 seconds to go, which is very rare for him. In fact, I had my partner, Kevin, over at NBA TV Studios. He looked it up for me. Damian Lillard has done really well in the last 1 minute of games when it's less than 5-point differential, right, at the free throw line. He's shot over 80%, well over 80%. But here's the thing, Ro, this year he shot 75%. So I don't know what that tells you. Maybe fatigue is settling in for him at the end of games because this year he's had to carry so much of the load with all of the injuries on his team. We will see what happens. I will tell you this, though. The shade was mostly one way in the beginning. The Clippers with Paul George and Pat Beverly, with all of their antics, if you will, Damian Lillard was not too fazed. In fact, this is what he had to say after the game.
So let me say this. For one, I know what happened. I expect myself to make those free throws, and I didn't when my team needed it, you know, which was a failure for me that I can accept. But asking me about Patrick Beverley, who I sent him home before at the end of a game. Paul George just got sent home by me last year in the playoffs. So they know that the reason they're reacting like that is because of what they expect from me, which is a sign of respect. And it just shows what I've done at a high clip more times than not. So I'm not offended by it. If anything, it should just tell you how much it hurt them to go through what I put them through in those situations previously.
And then it continued. Paul George had this to say on social media, talking about sending Damian Lillard home. Now, I was actually at that game last year in the playoffs when Damian Lillard did the toddler bye-bye wave to the Oklahoma City Thunder. I remember it vividly. Paul George was on the receiving end of that, as was Russell Westbrook. So now he is saying he'll send him home. His new teammate, Pat Beverley, who you heard Damian Lillard talk about, he sent home when he was in Houston with the Rockets. He chimed in talking about Cancun on 3. If you all don't know what that's a reference to, that's a reference to the team huddle. When you say something normally like defense or together on 3, when it's the end of your season and you're going on vacation, it's Cancun on 3. So that was a jab there. And then Damian Lillard just being, Damian Lillard saying what he always does. He just talks about loyalty. He implies it, right? He says you're always chasing, switching teams, running from the grind. Damian Lillard is known for his loyalty. He is known for his hard work and the grind. It always pays off, Ro. I know one thing about Damian Lillard. He does very rarely have 2 games in a row that he's disappointed in. He had a good game. Just the end, he didn't make those free throws. I'm pretty sure that today against the Philadelphia 76ers, he's going to show out.
You can't see me on camera right now, but I actually have my hand up and I'm pointing at my watch because I totally expect it to be Dame time again. And Roberta Flack and the Fugees, they once had a song called Killing Them Softly. So that's kind of what Dame did. Looking forward to seeing what he does. Stephanie, excellent work as always. Can't wait to see you later on and what you have to bring to us. Have fun down there in Orlando. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks a lot, Ro.
Oh, man. Nothing like the NBA. Gotta love it. So as we bring back in my 2 esteemed colleagues, again, greatness on the screen. 1 coach, 2 coach. I'm going to start with you on this one, Coach Mitchell. These Portland Trail Blazers, obviously we know that they're on the outside looking in right now, but just looking at the way this roster is currently constructed, obviously not the same roster that they had towards the end of the season when we had the pause. Is this team truly a 9 seed right now? If they were playing with this entire complement of players, where do you think that they would actually be seeded if they start with that full roster?
Bro, I can't believe you asked me that, man. They would be in the playoffs. Well, come on, Nurkic. Look, Hassan Whiteside had a good year for the Portland Trail Blazers, blocking shots, scoring, rebounding. But he is not the guy that Nurkic is. And then when you look at Dame and look at CJ, and then the resurgence of Carmelo Anthony as he changed his body and dropped 20 pounds. This Portland Trail Blazers team could be dangerous. And if you're the Lakers, you don't want to see this team come playoff time. You much rather play Memphis in the first round. And then also, if I'm Paul George and Patrick Beverley, I would be encouraging Portland to keep pushing to get to that 8th spot because we all know that the Lakers, what is the Lakers' weakness? Their backcourt. What is Portland's strength? Their backcourt. And I'm not saying Portland can beat the Lakers in a 7-game series, but I guarantee you they can push them to 6. So if you're Paul George and Patrick Beverley, I would kind of lay off Dame a little bit because you need Dame to get that 8th spot so that you can have a chance to wear the Lakers down.
So both of you gentlemen are familiar with Gary Trent Sr. However, Gary Trent Jr. has been balling out of his mind. In fact, in the second quarter, he had 4 threes against the Clippers. That's more threes. Well, that equals the amount of threes that his dad had in his entire NBA career playing over 500 games. So, Coach McHale, how impressed are you with young Gary Trent?
I'm really impressed with him. And Sam and I both know his father. His father wasn't shooting threes. His father was beating you up in the post. He was the Shaq of the Mac when he got into the NBA, and he was all inside and all power. But I was watching, Gary Trent Jr., and actually when you look at Portland, it's like they honestly have 3 new players. Gary Trent Jr. is looked completely different, so confident, playing so well. They got Nurkic, who they didn't have the entire season, and they didn't have Collins. And one thing that was interesting to me, Sam, is the whole league's going smaller and everybody's playing small ball. Terry Stotts in Portland had to play small ball. There were times Carmelo Anthony was the biggest player on the floor for Portland. He didn't like it at all. So when he announced he was playing Nurkic and